A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News, come to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I am Florine Rajendran. Before going into the stories in detail, here's a look at the headlines. Parliament adjourns following the second reading of the bill on the 19th Amendment to the Constitution. Investigations commence into landslides in Nikapotha, Haldamulla. The body of a 19-year-old boy who died after jumping into the Dialuma Falls found. 98 migrants, including a woman and children, arrived in Sicily. On to those stories in detail now. Parliament has been adjourned to tomorrow following the second reading of the bill on the 19th Amendment to the Constitution this morning. Our Parliament correspondent noted that the debate on the 19th Amendment bill will commence tomorrow. Meanwhile, a tense situation arose in Parliament this morning when a group of opposition MPs voiced protest. Our Parliament correspondent Amarashri Bandara noted that tensions flared shortly after media reports regarding the former President and former Defence Secretary being summoned to bribery commission were brought to the attention of the chair. Several opposition and government MPs had made arguments for and against the summoning of the former President to the bribery commission. Several opposition MPs contended that the former President cannot be summoned to the bribery commission constitutionally. The Prime Minister and the Speaker were called upon to intervene to stop the former President being summoned. A Deputy Minister, however, noted that since the government has pledged to ensure the independence of these commissions, there will be no political interference. Tensions flared thereafter. The government had agreed to grant a two-day debate on the matter. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe pointed out to the House that only MPs' privileges can be brought up in Parliament and noted that neither the former President or the former Defence Secretary are members of Parliament. The Speaker noted that attention would be drawn to the matter. Several opposition MPs had then entered the well of Parliament. The Speaker adjourned the House and informed the Sergeant-at-Arms to take the maze out of the chamber. In spite of this, our Parliament correspondent reports that MPs continued to remain in the well of Parliament and were also taking photographs of their protests using mobile phones. The Disaster Management Centre says a team of geologists have been deployed to conduct research into landslides in the Nikapotha area in Haldamulla. The Badulla District Assistant Director of the DMC, ELAM Udayakumara, noted that the risk would be estimated following the team's expedition and that a future course of action would be decided on. A major landslide took a 5-acre large rubber cultivation, with it following heavy showers in the area.
There were heavy showers in the Badulla area last night. Heavy showers were also reported in the Halmadulla area. A landslide occurred in a 5-acre rubber plantation in the Nikapotha West Grama Nildari division. There was no property damage or casualties in the incident. Investigations are required into the risk of landslides in the area, and a group of researchers of the MBRO have been deployed for it. The risk will be evaluated in order to determine the necessary precautions.
Meanwhile, the DMC informs the public to exercise caution when using the Allavallavai road. DMC Assistant Director Pradeep Kodipilli noted that there is a risk of rock slides and cut failures at certain locations along the road. 8 homes have been inundated by flash floods in the Horabokke area in Buttala. DMC Assistant Director Pradeep Kodipilli said that residents had been evacuated to safer locations. Kodipilli added that while the floodwaters are receding, the Monaragala District DMC would carry out the clean-up operation. The Met Department is forecasting showers and thunder showers in several parts of the island in the evening and night. Rain can also be expected on the western coast tomorrow morning. Thunder showers may be accompanied by temporary localized strong winds. While rough seas are not expected around the island in the event of thunder showers, caution should be exercised. On to one of our headline-making stories, the body of the 19-year-old youth who drowned after jumping from the top of the Dialuma Falls in Koslanda was found this morning. The body of a 17-year-old girl who drowned along with the youth was found last night. The police stated that the 17-year-old girl is a resident of Haputale. Deputy Minister of Justice Sujiva Senasinghe says that curtailing of presidential powers is essential.
There are several tug-of-wars even in this government, but we have already established good governance, reduced crime, stopped the distribution of drugs and have stopped the ministers who bring ethanol into the country. None of our ministers have even touched ethanol. They've not been involved in crimes. If they are, then we will certainly take legal action.
An event to donate chairs to elders committees was held under the auspices of the Deputy Minister in Polgasovita, Ambalanguda. Another event was held in the Dambara area in Paduka yesterday with the participation of Deputy Minister Sujiva Senasinghe. Chairs were distributed for women's and elder societies at this event. Meanwhile, a mother aged 52 and a 32-year-old daughter were found brutally murdered in the Pudalu area in Nuwara at 3 a.m. this morning. The police say they were murdered with the use of a sharp weapon. Police suspect that the 52-year-old woman's son may have been involved in the murder. The suspect has fled the area and further investigations are underway. The post-mortem examination of the body of the woman who was found dead at a school in Colombo 4 will be conducted today. The body was discovered after the woman who had gone to the school where she worked as a janitor had not returned home. The police noted that the woman had sustained injuries to her face. The victim was a 44-year-old resident of Kirulapana. Moving into one of our local news, a group of Road Development Authority workers who engaged in a satyagraha demanding their reinstatement were not allowed to report to work today in spite of authorities having instructed them to do so. Officials at the RD office had noted that they could not allow the group to return to work since they had not been informed in writing.
This group commenced a satyagraha on the 1st of April at Setsiripaya, protesting against their employment being terminated. On the 18th, Minister Mahinda Amravira and Deputy Minister Lakshman Yapa Bewodana intervened to grant the group an audience with the President. At the discussions, the President had informed the group to return to work today and that he would order the Ministry Secretary to reinstate them. The group departed for work this morning after engaging in several traditional rituals. However, after officials at the RDA office refused to allow them to report to work, the group recommenced their satyagraha. The Ministry Secretary says that he has not received the order in written format. He says that we will have to get the approval of the Cabinet and that we will have to wait until Wednesday. But we decided to continue the satyagraha when the Secretary said that, even though we came out of respect for the President. Some of us will inform the President on this situation and we will try to resolve the issue once and for all.
Well, that's a wrap of lunchtime news here at News First. For the News First team, I'm Florine Rajendran, wishing you a wonderful day ahead of you.